Hey you guys, this is Yolanda from Yolaji Holistic Wellness, and I'm just sort of making this video as a little reminder of what is your worth, especially when it comes to your spiritual practice. Oftentimes when we go on our journey, we kind of feel guilty about what it is that we spend on metaphysical products like crystals, herbs, and stone, different things like that, cars and everything. And then oftentimes we overlook certain items like metaphysical art. So there is a difference between metaphysical items and metaphysical art. Metaphysical items are just like that. It's just crystals, sage, incense, things like that, cards. Whereas metaphysical art is something that's actually created by someone. And oftentimes we have a very self-restricted attitude towards spending on ourselves in general. But when it comes to metaphysical items and metaphysical arts, the two actually get really misconstrued in the mix. And so I'm kind of making this video to just like explain how important it is to accept your unlimited worth of items that we do spend when we venture out into self-care and healing. We should never put a price tag on what it is that we're worth. So when I first started on my journey, a lot of times I would feel guilty about spending so much money on crystals because I have crystals all over the place and oracle cards or tarot and all that stuff. And so we self-limit ourselves when we do things like that because it restricts us. We're putting a value on what it is what our price is. And we really shouldn't be doing that because there is no price tag for self-care or self-healing. You're worth you're infinite beyond, you know what I'm saying? So when we spend money on these items, we shouldn't necessarily feel guilty. And one man had actually explained it a little to me when I started on my journey, and I told him how I felt. And he told me that you should never put a price on your items for metaphysical, because the thing is you're spending all that money, but guess what? You're blessing yourself double of what it is that you're spending. So everything that you're investing in, you're creating for yourself to receive more. And so when you bless yourself with all of that abundance, it's just going to come back to you times 10 or double, whatever. Let's say times 10, because that's exactly what we want, right? So when we spend money on metaphysical items, and there is a difference between metaphysical items versus metaphysical art. Metaphysical items, which most of us buy because we're doing stuff for ourselves, we're buying the incense to burn, to sage the house, to clear it. We're buying the crystals to help with crystal grids into manifesting. We're buying the cards to help us with our intuition abilities and direction, right? So those are things, metaphysical items are tools that you use yourself to help yourself. And this is where the difference comes in. Metaphysical art. And it's not just art. It's not like the art you see at a museum. These are art pieces that people have created from their soul. These are special items that has the essence of their divine energy that they put into it. So if you look at metaphysical art, and sometimes metaphysical art can be a little bit more pricier than metaphysical items, but again, you're doing the stuff yourself with items. With the metaphysical art, that artist has given that item their essence, their unlimited passion and heart and soul into it. They have created that energy to help the healing process. So there is really no value that you can put on items like that. So next time you go about and you see something that it is that would benefit you and your household, ask yourself, is this really worth it? Because it is in the long run. I mean, if you feel called to it and you feel connected, that item is going to help enhance your vibrations within the atmosphere. And so there's really no value on that. You know, so it doesn't mean that you have to like go out and buy all the metaphysical art that's out there. But again, when we put value on these things for ourselves, ask yourself, when you go shopping and you see expensive items and you're like, oh, that's too expensive for me, ask yourself, is it like, really tell yourself, am I really putting a value on that person? So when you put a value on that person, you put a value on yourself also, which is also self-limiting. So it's like, share the wealth. Be generous. If it calls you, don't feel guilty about it. If it calls you and cost is a thing, then you really have to ask yourself, why is cost a thing? But again, there is a difference, metaphysical items and metaphysical arts. So the power is done for you within the art. Items, you do yourself. But in the end, you should never feel guilty about what it is that you spend on your spiritual practice, because you are a reflection of divine light. You are worthy. You are infinite. You are abundant. You should never put a value on that, and nothing in this 3D world will ever put a price on that. So, peace, love, and light.